Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How are you doing today, my friend? Welcome. My name is Talia Joy, and if this is your first time listening, hello, hi. I have 10, 12, 13 years-ish as a coach, healer, intuitive, lifelong learner, old soul, someone who is deeply passionate about helping you remember who you are so that you can create the life that you dream of. So I am so excited that you are here. Welcome, welcome. This episode is directly inspired by my day yesterday, and I just took an entire day for myself. So I will weave in that story, what I did, what I realized, and everything about that. But this day reminded me of something so powerful, and it was so potent, and it was what I needed to hear and what you need to hear. And it's very, very straight. You have to look after yourself. And I'm going to break that down today. And so wherever you are, whether you're driving, walking, maybe walking the dog, folding laundry, sitting with a coffee, whatever you are doing, take a deep breath right now. This conversation is really important, and it's a reminder, and it's a re-reminder, and it's about coming home to yourself. So I am really excited for this episode. Who you are and your actual physical life is all built by how you look after yourself, or I should say it's built on how you look after yourself. How you look after yourself, how you nourish yourself, that is like the roots to the tree. So even if you're hustling, even if you're working really hard, even if you've got all the plans in the world, if it's on a shaky foundation, if you are not looking after yourself, you will only be able to thrive so much without before you burn out or break down or are overstimulated, overwhelmed, things, start constricting, things start not working. And that's not what I want for you. So we're going to talk today about how important it is to look after yourself. I'm going to break it down really tangibly. I'm going to share how it's not just, something expensive or getting a massage. Of course it can be, but it's so much deeper than that. And it's also quite powerful. It's quite healing, and it can even be spiritual. So I'm really excited to dive in. And before I do, two things. If you have not come and found me over on Instagram, come over to Instagram and find me. It is at Talia Joy Manifestation. The link is also below. Come see me there. That's where I post on socials. I would love to connect, hear that you're watching the show or listening to the show. You're not watching because I'm not recording a video. If you're watching me, that's creepy. Okay, anyway. Yes, I would love to connect. So come over, find me on Instagram. Okay, and the second thing is if you are local, I am on Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada. If you are local, I am starting to host Return to Self meditation evenings in person here mid-island. So reach out to me if you want to be on the list. As soon as I have the details solidified for dates and times and all that, I will pop it below and start putting it in the show notes so that you can come along. Also, again, if you are on Instagram, I will be posting there. It is a mid-island in-person evening meditations where you take the time to reconnect to yourself, return to yourself, slow down, and remember who you are beneath the busyness of life. This is self-care. This is accessing your spirit, calming your nervous system, and it's really just time for you. So I know most of you are not local to Vancouver Island in Canada, but if you are, I would love to meet with you in person. Or if you want to travel from wherever you are, a super long distance for maybe a Wednesday night meditation, you let me know. Anyways, more details coming soon, but I am so excited to be out in the community and hosting these circles weekly for you guys. All right, that is it. Let's dive into today's episode. I am so excited. So take another deep breath with me. Drop your shoulders, maybe take a sip of water, and let's dive in. So yesterday, as I mentioned in the intro, I gave a whole day to myself. I used to do this. Once a month, even just a few years ago. I would have a self-care day, and depending on what I felt like doing, I would take the whole day to myself. But I haven't done this in years, and I'm just going to be really honest, you guys. Lately, I have been feeling like the last few months, I've shared it here on the show, really solid inside, meaning like my self-worth and my boundaries and who I am and not turning on myself and, looking after myself and all these things in so many ways. But physically, I've been feeling very overstimulated. I mean, it is summer. I have 3 kids, so enough said to all you parents or people that know what that's like. That's been a thing. I've been feeling tired. I've been feeling irritable. I've been feeling exhausted. I've been saying to my husband, like, I just need a weekend for myself. I just need to have, even an overnight by myself. I need to book an Airbnb. Like, it's been coming forward where I'm like, I am starting to feel frazzled. I'm starting to feel like my cup is not full. So as much as the deep stuff has been amazing, which I'm so grateful for, my relationship to myself, my relationship to my body, even my pain, there's so many things that have been so great, really transformed. But physically, my nervous system, I've been overwhelmed. I've been exhausted. So yesterday, what I decided to do, and I decided this just a couple days before, I saw Monday as a window. I was like, okay, my husband's with the kids, my son's got camp, whatever it is, everyone's taken care of. It's my work day anyway. I am going to give the day to myself, an entire day. And I have Monday night yogas at 6, so I didn't have to be back till 6 p.m., just an entire day for me. So I knew exactly where I wanted to go. The road trip is like 2.5 to 3 hours each way, beautiful road, lots of river spots and ocean and lakes. And oh, it was so good. So I left early in the morning. I got up early and I created this whole day for myself. I packed coffee in the car, couple snacks. I brought my yoga mat for later. I brought everything I needed for later and I just hit the road. So first of all, right there, this is where I feel free. I love road tripping. I love solo trips. I've done this since I was in my early 20s, really since I could start going on these things. I booked a trip. I took a bus all the way across Canada to go visit a friend because I wanted to see the country. I wanted to see it on the ground, the places I hadn't seen. And, I did that all by myself, took a Greyhound bus. Looking back, not very safe, really, let's be honest, to 19-year-old Talia. But anyway, I've always taken trips on my own and, having a family and, there's different things from time and schedules to finances. And, sometimes I don't get to have those trips. And once it happens where it's been months and months and maybe even a year, 2 years where I haven't even had a weekend or an overnight to myself, it really, really depletes me. So anyway, decided to book this entire day. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew that I had to leave the end destination at a certain point to be back. But other than that, I was just free balling it. It was amazing. Every little river spot, every little ooh, what's that? Every little summit, every little, place that I could pull over and go oh, I've always wanted to go down there. I always wanted to follow that little trail. I didn't go too far into the woods, don't worry. But it was me and my car and driving. And it was so amazing. Rivers, creeks. I found lakes I'd never been to before. It was actually kind of a drizzly day. I sat in the rain. I got poured on. I brought a change of clothes. So I kept layering up and layering down. And it was so perfect. Changing my socks, filling up my coffee, going back out there, went to incredible beaches. We have on Vancouver Island incredible beaches, a beach called Long Beach. If you know, you know. It looks like California, just the beach that goes forever and the fine, beautiful sand and there's surfers and oh, it was so good. So went and sat on a beach, was in the wind. I was climbing over rocks. The sun came out a little bit for some time. I was listening to music. I listened to everything from Tool to Eminem to chorus affirmation hymns. I was just in my happy place. I was singing, I was drinking water, I got myself a nice lunch, I saw a bear. It was amazing. So I gave myself a day of, first of all, no or de-stimulation. I didn't listen to any podcasts. I wasn't on social media. I really didn't touch my phone part of the time. Most of the time I didn't have service, which was the best part. But I really didn't touch my phone except for taking pictures or taking a video and then listening to music. So I really felt like I had time to go within. And even more that sounds so I don't know, prophetic or something, but it's less about some end result of how do I know if I'm going within or if I'm just sitting there, right? It's more that I had time with me. I had time to just pull over, to sit and put my feet in a river. I just had time with myself. So when I'm listening to like a true crime podcast, or I'm even like a self-growth podcast, or I'm, watching something, or I'm on social media, or I'm scrolling, like all those things, even if you're listening to the best, most productive podcast in the world, it's still true that those things take you out of yourself, because purely your attention, right? You're either watching a video, you're scrolling, you're reading content, you're listening to a podcast. These things, they can activate thoughts, like a podcast like this, or listening, you can create breakthroughs, and all that stuff is good. But also, if you just sit with you, it's incredible what happens. So just listening to music and singing, I was getting realizations and memories coming up about that cross-Canada trip and different times in my life that I listened to these albums. And there was like reflections. It wasn't just about, I'm going to go create a road trip and that's going to give me my next 10-step plan for clarity for my business and life. No, it was just to nourish myself, to, filleth your cuppeth? I don't know. But that type of thing. It was just for me. What do I want to eat? Do I want to stop and get a coffee? Can I go pee in that bush over there? Let's go see what the river looks like down there. So it wasn't that anything extraordinary happened. I mean, seeing a bear was awesome and all the other things, but it was just the best day I've had in a long time, because I felt like myself. I felt free. I had my, what's it called? Skylight thing? Moonroof, I don't know, but it opens all the way. I had it open like the entire time, even when it was raining. It just felt so good. So I want to not just talk about my day, but I want to start talking about why this is so important. And yesterday I had a realization that landed so deeply. So I was reflecting, literally sitting by a river reflecting, and I am a human design reflector. Whether that means anything to you or not doesn't matter. Whether you're a reflector or not doesn't matter. But how the message came forward, why I'm even saying that, is because the message came forward that as a reflector, my environment is very, very important. And so this is the same for sensitive people, for empaths, probably lots of astrological signs, a lot of us. Our environment is so important. So if you're in a stressful environment, even if your environment is like certain social media, or, the friends around you, or what you consume, or where you live, or the workplace that you're in, or whatever else, your environment is so important. So what landed for me was, my environment is so important that I need to radically fill my cup and then just reflect out what is within me. And this guidance was about business and about my direction and what to create and stuff like that. But it goes so much farther than that. And I know it's applicable to all my clients in any area of life. We fill up our cup so that who we are can spill over. We can express ourselves. But when we're empty, we're not reflecting anything. I was irritated, less patient, less inspired, less creative. And say in my business, it's easy for me to go like, what should I do? What do you guys want? What, would help you? What are other people doing? What is logical? What helps me to connect with more of you? That's great. But for me, especially as a reflector, and I want you to hear what's in this for you, when you fill yourself up, when you look after yourself on such a deep and sexy level, it makes you vivacious. It makes you magnetic because you are taken care of. And from that place, you take that you into your relationships, into your corporate job, into your business, into your workplace, into your day, into everything. So yes, as a human design reflector in my business, and yes, that was all very revolutionary, but if you are empty, if you are searching outside of yourself for what to do next, feeling very much like what should I do, whether it's, health, direction in life, business, whatever, your job is to fill up your cup first. And then from there, see what inspires you. See what comes your way. We cannot give what we don't have. We cannot expect ourselves to be patient, to be creative, to be present and focused and getting shit done and connected and inspired if we are constantly running on empty. So this pep talk for you guys, because my tone is getting more pep talky, This is really about how self-care is no longer optional. We have all, no matter how long you've been at this podcast or been listening or been involved with my work, or if you've worked with me before, whatever it is, you've learned a lot, and we've learned about self-care and self-love, and we've had our, day with kind of, oh yeah, and I'm important and I matter. We have to keep that going. We have to keep that chugging. And in fact, the better and better we get at caring for ourselves, the more our life will flourish. Self-care is not a luxury. It's no longer something you do later when you're rich and fancy and life has quote unquote calmed down. It's not something you earn after you've done your hard work. And this is something the first, 5, 7 years of business, something like that. I was constantly like, oh, I'll get a massage like when I make enough money, or I'm going to take the day off when I can afford to. For now, I'm going to hustle so that later I can relax. And there is some truth in that. However, energetically, that's flawed. If self-care is the reward, then what's the foundation? So if it's not the reward, what if it's the foundation? Because yesterday didn't just make me feel relaxed, it's changing how I show up. I was sitting there feeling connected to myself and to nature and the totality. And in some ways, I had a break from the what should I do? And I got to plan out my future and figure it out. And, I got to quote unquote figure it out. I've been quote unquote figuring it out, I feel like my whole life. What if what I'm really looking for is to feel connected to myself, to feel creative again, where ideas are flowing, where I feel lighter, where I feel more patient, more grounded, more solid. And imagine what happens from that point. Our point of attraction changes, our vibe changes, our edges soften, our creativity returns, our light returns. So whether you have goals or you're just coasting right now, wanting to just, continue deepening your life and your, connection to yourself, you have to look after yourself. It is no longer optional. It is no longer a maybe, and it's no longer something that has to be or should be out of reach. I don't say should a lot or you have to a lot, but this is one area. You have to look after yourself. So I just want to break down a little bit to me what that really means. So I used to think, as I just said, I'm going to get a massage later. I'm going to take myself away. And it was always expensive, to be honest, but it does not have to look like a luxury vacation. I will say before I go forward with it, investing in yourself is huge, because when you say I am worth this money, this investment, there is a huge self-worth boost there. It's like I'm worth organic veggies, or I am worth people treating me well. When you are worth investing in yourself, that's massive. But it does not and never has to involve money. It doesn't have to involve money. So why I'm saying that is like me investing even, getting my 10 pass or 20 passes for yoga so that I can go to Monday night yoga. That's an energetic declaration. Like, I am worth this. Yoga is not cheap, right? Or if I invest in a coach, or I invest, as I said, in my organic veggies, or, whatever it is, if you need to buy yourself something, you buy yourself new shoes, like that investment does say like, I love me. But I just want to be very clear that the energy of filling your cup has nothing to do with money. Filling your cup, nourishing yourself, looking after yourself, that is a vibe. You know the feeling after you have an everything shower, if you know, you wash your hair, you're moisturizing your skin, or whatever, you trim your beard, or whoever's listening, whatever it is that you do. Your nails are cut, maybe your feet, you've done the little scrubby thing to get the dead skin off. You're putting on clothes that make you feel amazing, whether it's yoga pants or something fancy, whatever it is. You get your hair done, maybe you've just had a blowout or a trim or something like that. You feel like you're glowing. When I leave the yoga studio, I feel that way. After a workout, I feel that way. After treating myself well, there is a glow that can't be it's from that, and that's it. There's a special glow that only comes from making sure and filling up, making sure you're taken care of or filling up your own cup. There is a glow when your cup is overflowing. So sometimes it's going for a walk, taking a bath, putting your phone away for hours, actually taking a day off. cooking yourself a nourishing meal, doing a little day trip like I did. Just take yourself away for a day, take yourself out for a lunch, drinking enough water, taking your vitamins, exercising. Like, I know it's annoying, but these things make you feel amazing. And when you feel amazing and like you're looking after yourself, you show up differently. And that's about it. So it's not exercising from should, it's exercising from like, finally, I fucking care about myself. That's what gets me right now. Exercising, taking my supplements, really looking after myself is because you know what? I matter. And from that place, we show up differently. So taking a weekend off, like actually taking time off, doing something you love, taking a class for fun, going on a drive, buying yourself a gift, whatever it is, that makes you feel looked after. So I don't think in the formula for success that we're really actually searching for more like productivity or one special morning routine that's going to like change your life, or even another business strategy. Again, there's a time and a place for all of that. But I really believe and feel the best way I can say it is that we're searching for life force. We are searching to feel connected to ourselves. That's probably why you've done the healing work that you've done, or you focused on loving yourself, self-care, right? We are looking to feel connected to ourselves. And the times when you maybe struggled the most, if you struggled with addiction or, toxic dynamics or trauma, whatever it is, a lot of that had an impact on the way that you loved yourself, the way that you saw yourself, right? So as you do the healing work and as you're the phoenix rising from the fucking ashes, pardon my French, what we are searching for is life force to feel connected to ourselves when our cup is overflowing. When we nourish ourselves, when we feel that connection, our nervous system softens, our creativity comes back online, your intuition gets louder. Your body finally has enough space to breathe. This is where you can start to really feel that God source wisdom within you. Your intuition whispering, your inner wisdom, your next level. You can't get to that when you're exhausted, when you're overwhelmed. So if you've been ignoring your own needs for weeks or months or years, this is your call. And I love you, and it's that important. I want to grab your hand and let's walk this together because it's so important. You have to look after yourself. At this point, it's non-negotiable. So another thing that I want to say on this is when we do this, when we look after ourselves. And I am really saying, like, I want you to up the ante of how you're looking after your body, your mind, your emotions, your spirit. You don't have to do it all at once, but I'm really asking you to step it up energetically because you will notice yourself starting to thrive. You will notice yourself starting to call in new things, new experiences, synchronicities. You start to quote unquote manifest because your whole energy changes. So I want that for you. That's why I'm getting passionate here. But I wanted to say that when you do this, what you are really saying to yourself and to the universe, I matter. That's what you're saying. My needs matter. You guys that have been around the block with me, you've heard me say this in meditations and getting you to repeat it. I matter. My needs matter, right? So it's one thing to say it or to learn about it, but it's another thing to live like you believe it. Live like you believe that your needs matter. So every glass of water, every walk you go on, every nervous system reset, every deep breath you take and truly feel grounded, every healthy meal, every workout, every boundary, every nap, every rest day, every single moment you choose yourself, you're teaching your nervous system, you're teaching your heart, you're teaching, your being. I matter. My needs matter, right? So it's like, I heard one time from my team, I would say like, I matter. And I'd hear them say, show me or show us, right? Show yourself, really. So it's one thing to say it, but show us, show life that you matter. That is healing. That is expansion. That is you turning into the badass that you know you are. And that's what gives you that life force energy, that creativity, that endless focus and excitement to go after your goals. I really would be as bold as to say, and some of you can call me out, it's totally fine, but I would say that, especially for people like us that are here for big things and have been through a lot, we cannot truly have the success that we are deeply desiring unless we look after ourselves in the process. Because you may be able to make money, but you can be stressed about that money because you didn't learn to look after yourself, right? Or you can have a business that sells products or the success that you're looking for in that way, but not actually know how to relax into your life or love yourself or look after your physical health, right? It's about bringing it all together with the through line of looking after yourself. You have to. So the invitation today is not that you should take care of yourself. It's that reminder that looking after yourself is the foundation. It's the roots to everything. And I want to bring it back. I already kind of said it, right? But if you are overwhelmed, exhausted, stretched thin, overstimulated, saying yes when you need to say no, people pleasing, none of these things are calling you out in whatever shame or judgment. But if these things are happening, you are taking those different traits or those different feelings of overwhelm, worry, stress, all these things into everything. You're bringing it into your relationships. You're bringing it into your goals. You're bringing it into your business. You're bringing it into your workplace, whether you realize it or not. So you are the center point of your life. Your goals, your dreams, your relationships, your business, your whatever, there's one central theme in all of those, and that is you. A tree could have all the components to grow super, super tall and big and old, but if those roots are piddly and thin and wispy and rotting, how big could that tree ever get? So you've come up across this before, right? Self-care, your needs matter, look after yourself. But this is a deeper, more focused call to invite you forward to look after yourself deeper. You are more important than a lot of the things that we focus on. Your workout, your mindfulness, your grounding routine, your supplements, your exercise, filling your cup, going on a road trip and putting your hand out the window and listening to music and singing and eating whatever you want and pulling over and jumping in a river and being free. I take that energy into this podcast because it just happened yesterday. I take that energy into my parenting today. I went out with one of my kids, had a meal, we had breakfast. I had tons of patience and focused, and I was present and I was grounded, literally because I did that yesterday. So your needs matter, and it's the foundation of everything. So if you are dreaming about your next level in any way, the next version of your life is not built by squeezing more out of yourself. It's not built even by somebody who hustles, or it's not built by your hustle. It's built by becoming someone who honors yourself deeply and actually physically acts like somebody who believes that. Okay, so what I want to leave you with, I want to ask you, what is one thing between my road trip story, all the examples, the things you've done in the past that just make you go, what is one thing that you can do from here with the schedule you currently have, with the money you currently have, with the resources? What is something you can do, or a few things, and grab a pen and paper, grab the notes app on your phone right now, write it down. What are some things that you can do that will help you feel more alive? Not necessarily more productive, alive. What helps you live alive? And do that. Because after your everything shower with your toenails clipped and your scalp all massaged and your legs are moisturized or whatever, you feel unstoppable. When you take a weekend off in nature, or you go out into the forest and you just channel with the trees, or you do a crazy workout and you leave going like, whoa, that stuff, that's everything. That is the success formula. That is life force. And then from that place, you are naturally more patient, loving, creative, intuitive, focused, right? The time to focus will come and you'll be fucking focused because you're like here now and you've looked after yourself and you're well fed from the inside, feeding your cells, feeding your heart. So how can you become well fed from the inside? How can you look after yourself a little bit more? What is something like a trip or a haircut or a day to just bath and soak in essential oils? Like, what is something that you need to do? And I want you to do it, because it doesn't help just thinking of something you could do. It actually shifts your energy when you do it. Okay. I love you so much. I know this one was a little intense, but it's so important. And sometimes we got to get through the barrier of like, I know, right? Like, I know I need to look after myself, but my schedule's busy. But, I want it to pierce through that and into your heart and into your cells so that you go, oh yeah, I am important. My needs matter. Okay. So I hope this spoke to you. And if you need help, I'm always here for you. This is what I do. I support people like you in moving through into your next level. And it's based in that. It's based in alignment and nourishment and activating that power and really doing it. So I'm so excited. And again, I hope this episode resonated. And until next time, take care of yourself because you deserve it. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.